Hi, my name is Sudhams, and in Visualpath they'll be calling us Sudhir. But anyways, so today's topic is about Azure DevSecOps. So I've been working in this IT industry from past 11 plus years, and in the recent times I'm working more on containerization technology, and I was certified in Azure certifications like DevOps and developer as well. So if you need any help or if you are seeking further certifications and all, you can approach me at any point of time in this course or out of this particular course. And not only that, I have done other certifications as well, which are not displayed here. From OpenStack, I have done OpenStack administration, and from Azure, AWS, I have done Solution Architect Associate, and for Kubernetes side, I have done CKA and CKS, that is Certified Kubernetes Administrator and Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. So if you need any help, or my suggestion is I'll tell at the end of the course what is the certificate that is recommended in the current technology right now. Okay, so let's jump into the topic. And but before discussing that, I just want to discuss few points, generic questions, kind of. So let us understand some basics concepts which you have heard on daily basis as well. Now the first question which I want to ask everyone is like, what is information technology? Any idea on this or that you know? It's a small discussion, okay? Don't hesitate that what other people will think and all. Just say what you know. That's all. Anyone knows about what is information technology? IT, right? So now we are learning this course to seek the job in the IT, right? So then what is IT? Information technology. What is that? No one? At least any guess? Okay, I'll be answering this. So it is a device or a technology that we use to send the information, to receive the information, or to manage the information. For example, your mobile devices, TVs, satellites, servers, internet, all this comes under information technology. Imagine if you don't have internet connection, how we are able to conduct these sessions on online, and how we are able to learn the technology, the job which you are looking for. So this is because of the technology what they have developed to transfer the information or to store the information, like your hard disk, or you're using some storages over Google Drive. All this nothing but information technology. Okay. So any have you understood this point? I hope so. Yeah. Let us see the next point. Does anyone know what is a website? Any answer to this as well? Any guess? Guess is fine. See, I'm not asking for you to say the accurate uh, sentence of it or a vocabulary, sentence formation, nothing like that. Just tell what you know. No sentence framing and all. Okay, you can tell whatever you want.
I think which we can access through internet using a browser.
Fine, somewhat. Yeah. Anything else? For example, you want to start up a restaurant or something like Swiggy, Zomato, not Swiggy, Zomato, any restaurant, some ex restaurant. Now, how will you pull your customers to your restaurant? Any idea? I cannot call each and every person across the city, right? Or across the globe. Or globe people will not reach. Across the city at least. Will you call each and every person and say that I have opened a restaurant like this and this is the menu which have we have and which we serve and all? No, right? I need to design a website. So in a website, we will store the information of our organization or a company. That is a website. So and website is a combination of web pages. Does anyone know any page? For example, you are using Facebook, right? Facebook, first you need to log in. Login is one page. After you log in, you will see the web feeds actually, the new post and all. That is nothing but one page. So this combination of pages is nothing but a website. Then what is a web page? I'm not asking about how will you design a web page. What is a web page? Any idea? It's a general discussion. You can casually talk like what you know. That's all. Web page is used to share the information in the form of text, audio, video, and pictures. What you will see in web page? You will see audios, videos, or images, or the text. That is a web page. This combination of web page is nothing but website. Okay. Now another generic question. See, I'm not talking something new about the technology. These particular words or a sentence which I'm asking, you might have heard many times before coming to this particular session. So that's the reason I just want to know how many of you people know about this. Now, if you want to run a website, what we need to have? Any idea? In order to run a website, what we need to have? We need to have a web server. Without having a web server like Apache, Nginx, Tomcat, or IIS, these kind of particular servers we need to run your website. Now to run the web servers, what we need to have? Operating system. To run operating system, what we need to have? A device or a machine, like your laptop, your PC, or a physical bare metal servers or a mobile devices. Can you install VLC player without having any operating system in your laptop? We cannot. In order to run a VLC player to watch some movie, for example, I want to watch a movie right now. I copied it from my pen drive to the laptop. Now, if you play it, will it play without having any VLC player or any other player? No, right? So we need an application. So where you will run your application? On an operating system. Now, where you will run your operating system? On a physical device. It could be a device or a machine. Laptops, PCs, and all are called as machines, and the mobile is called as your device. Even your device is having operating system, right? Android, iOS, these are operating systems. So without having operating system, you cannot run your web servers and applications or a software. That is the reason why we need this particular technology right now to be understand and to know about DevOps as well. Next question is, what is operating system? Some people might feel bored if you already know about this, but still, I just want to understand like how many people of know about this particular topic. What is operating system? Is my audio audible? You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So any guess like what is operating system? You are using on daily basis. Everybody is using laptop, mobiles, and all, right? So why we need an operating system? No guess? At least a guess?
Well, I'm gonna say an operating system is a software that manage computer hardware and some resources.
Yeah. So operating system is used to talk to the hardware because hardware understands only a binary language, ones and zeros combination. As a human beings, we know only certain languages, right? I don't understand binary language. So now I need a mediator between my hardware and me to convey my information. So my information will be in some particular alphabets or alphanumeric. That particular thing has to be converted into binary so that it can talk to my hardware devices like CPU, memory, hard disk, whatever it is, motherboard and all. So that is the main purpose of using an operating system. Since as a human beings, we cannot understand the binary language, my operating system will convert this. It will convert your human readable language into binary and binary to human readable language. That is the main purpose of using operating system. And not only that, we use multitasking operating system. Multitasking in the sense, now in the background I can play some particular music and now I can say particular PPT slides and then I can watch a YouTube channel as well. So parallel I can do multiple tasks, and that is also main purpose of using operating system. And the final question which I want to ask is, what is cloud computing? Now we are trying to learn about Azure cloud, right? then what is cloud computing? At least you might have heard about this on your day-to-day activities and all. Maybe somewhere in the graduation or somewhere else. What is this cloud computing? No guess? Providing an on-demand IT resource over the internet is called as cloud computing. As simple as it. Providing on-demand IT resource over the internet is called as cloud computing. So why I have talked about this? Because these are fundamentals. Without knowing the fundamentals, you cannot learn the technology, which is the most important. So I just want to convey that my course, my teaching will be starting from fundamentals. The people who doesn't know about IT or who new to this particular IT technology, so you can start your career from now itself. Okay, so Visualpath from my side, I'll be teaching everything from scratch. Just you have to concentrate, understand the topic. If you're not able to understand, please let me know. I can repeat the topic with another examples and all. So I just want to convey this that my teaching will be from basics. Okay, hope you all got this. Now let's jump into the actual course. What is the content that we'll be teaching in this entire course? This is the architectures. So architecture in the sense you have to integrate services together to create a solution. Okay, so right now nobody will understand this architecture. Later on, when you come across this particular topics and all, I will explain each and every subtopics of it. And then finally, you have to implement the architecture what I've given on your Azure cloud. That's the thing what you have to notice. I just want to give a picture, so that's the reason I displayed it. Now, let us understand what we have to learn as a prerequisite in DevSecOps of Azure cloud. First, we need to learn about operating system. Now, in operating system, we have many types. That is Windows, Linux, Unix, and then Mac. In that, we are using Linux operating system. Linux is a kind of Unix flavor, but it is open source. Everybody can download the source code and you can develop your own operating system. That is the reason why in Linux we have so many flavors like Red Hat, RHEL, CentOS, Debian, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, OpenSUSE, and many more. In that, we will be learning about Ubuntu operating system. Why I have chosen Ubuntu? Because Ubuntu is widely used after Red Hat operating system. And moreover, Ubuntu is a free open source it is. No need to purchase any license key. And that too, it is having a long-term support. Long-term support in the sense, if I install this particular Ubuntu operating system until 5 years, I don't need to worry about upgrading the operating system. And not only that, they will extend one more 5 years as well. On total, it is 10 years. So until 10 years, I don't need to worry about upgrading my operating system. Just I have to run some particular patchwork if there are some bugs in the existing operating system version. That is a major advantage of using Ubuntu. And that too, it is easy to learn. For example, you might be running some commands. Sometimes I cannot recall the commands what I have executed earlier. Then you can give a tab. It will auto complete the commands. That is another advantage of using Ubuntu operating system. So I just want to say that Ubuntu is easy to learn and it is widely used by many of the organizations because if it is open source and it is stability in the development. Now, in Ubuntu, we have so many versions. Every version will be represented as 11, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right now, the latest one is 23. But in that, we have to use only even numbers. We should not use odd numbers in Ubuntu. Why? Because Ubuntu odd numbers are for development purpose of the functionality. But whereas stable versions are nothing but 20, 22, 24. 24 is not yet released, it is under development. And we have 18, 16, 14, 12, 10. These are like stable versions. And that is recommended to use in production servers. Now in that again we have desktop version, server edition. Desktop in the sense what? Like your Ubuntu operating system, where we'll have a GUI, graphical user interface. In a server edition, we don't have any GUI. If you need to talk to the operating system and fetch the data or to run the program or to run the software or to run the application, we have to execute only CLI commands. For example, in Windows, we have command prompt PowerShell, right? Similar to that. Why? We will be using only CLI. That is what we have to learn. Initially, we'll struggle for sure because you are new to this particular technology, right? So initially, you have to remember all the commands. But once you are habituated, right, it is pretty easy to handle Ubuntu operating system or any Linux operating system. It is not too tough. Though it is a CLI commands that you have to execute from the keyboard, but yet it is pretty easy if you remember the commands. After completing this operating system, we have to learn about shell scripting. Scripting is different and programming is different. Does anyone know about this? What is a programming? See, I want interaction, so I don't want to teach in one-way traffic. So if you know about it, please let me know. What is a programming language? Any idea? So programming language will have oops concept, right? In shell scripting, we don't have this concept. Oops concept is like classes, inheritance, polymorphism, these kind of concepts. So in shell scripting, we will not be having that. So don't worry about programming and all. So here we have to learn only shell scripting. Okay, so these are like prerequisites. Before entering into any cloud, it is not about only Azure. If you want to enter into this particular DevOps culture or DevSecOps role and all, first you have to learn about operating system because your applications, software, programs, scripting, everything will be running on the Linux operating system, right? So you have to know how to handle it or how to interact with that particular operating system. That is the reason why, as a prerequisites, we have to complete this. After we have done with this, now we have to concentrate on Azure administrative part. So what are the services we have to learn? Let me list down one by one. We need to learn about Microsoft Entra ID. Earlier it is called as Azure Active Directory. Recently Microsoft have renamed it. It is called as Microsoft Entra ID Enterprise. And then we have virtual machines. Virtual machines are nothing but creating a machine by a software. Now the laptop, what is called as physical machine. Now in this particular machine, we can install only one operating system or we can install multiple operating systems as well. But instead of doing like that, we want to create a machine by using a software that is called as virtual machine. For now, just remember only this particular sentence. When I go to the actual course, I will in detail explain about what is hypervisor, how many types of hypervisors we have, how to create a virtual machine by using hypervisor, what Azure is using, everything I'll explain in detail. And not only that, after that, we need to learn about networking. That is called as virtual network. You might have came across in your graduation that OS and ISO model. What is IP address? What is IPv4? IPv6? Classes like class A, class B, class C, class D, class E. What is subnet? What is CIDR? What is broadcast? What is gateway? So we need to learn all these particular things. It's not about only Azure. That network fundamentals we have to learn if you need to survive in this particular technology right now. Don't imagine that this particular things are related to networking team. It's not that. As a DevOps engineer or DevSecOps engineer, you have to manage networking on your mission as well. If you need to manage networking on your devices, you have to know what is a network first. Then I will be coming back to virtual network in AWS. Sorry, virtual networking in Azure. And then we'll be learning about load balancer, which is to split the traffic across the servers in the backend. And then Azure Disk for storage, and Azure Files, this is also for storage, and blob storage. And these three comes under storage part. I will tell you there are two different types of storages. Does anyone know what is that? There are two types of storages. You might be using in your laptop, mobile, and everywhere. Any guess?
Primary and secondary.
Memory and
Primary and secondary storage.
can you elaborate?
Primary like any RAM, ROM. Secondary like hard
Okay.
disk.
Yeah. So RAM is called as temporary memory. How long the data will be available on the RAM? Until you reboot your system or until you shut down your system. The data will be lost when you shut down or reboot the system. What about hard disk? If you store the content on the hard disk, it will never be lost. That is called as permanent storage. That is the reason why we will be storing our important content operating system on the disk, not in the RAM. Only temporary data will be stored in the RAM. I hope you know now you understood what is this, other guys. Now again in that we have block storage, object storage and file system. So we need to learn them fundamentals, and then we have to come back to the Azure point of view, that is Azure Disk, Azure Files and Azure Blob and many more as well. This comes under storage part. And then we have Azure Tables. Not only that, we have to learn the containerization technology, that is Azure Container Instances, Azure Container Apps, Azure Container Registry to store the images, and then Azure Kubernetes Service. These four topics are really important for our career right now, because many of the organizations, they are running applications on containerized technology. That is the reason why we have to be thorough on this particular services for sure. Please make a note of this. When you're learning this particular course or when you're joining this course, you have to concentrate more on this particular services. Okay, and then we have to monitor our Azure services. For that we need to use Azure Monitor, and then content delivery network, and then web application firewall, and then Microsoft Defender for security, and then virtual machine scale set for auto scaling. And then we have to learn about, I think this is the one, yeah, and we have to learn about virtual machine scale set, which is auto scaling. Now after completing this particular administrative services, then we have to concentrate more on Docker and Kubernetes, which I've told you here as well. That is Azure Container Services here, which I've displayed. These four topics are related to this, Docker and Kubernetes. Now these are the topics which I will be explaining in Docker and Kubernetes. I cannot explain this particular each and every topic, what is it, but I just want to display that these are the topics which we have to cover in order to understand what is containerization technology and what is orchestration for containers. Orchestration for containers, we have Kubernetes tool, and for containerization technology, we have Docker engine. There are many other tools, but these are widely used tools in open source right now. Okay. After completing this, then we have to concentrate on DevSecOps. As part of that, we need to concentrate first on DevOps. DevOps is nothing but development plus operations, where they will be using a common tools. That is called as DevOps in a simple sentence to understand. Why? Because earlier developers used to use some particular tools for their development process and testing. Operations team will use other tools for their deployment purpose. Now because of this, what is happening? There is a gap between developers and operations team. How come? Developer will say that I have written the code, I have tested the code and it is working fine in my system. And operations team will tell that we have took this code and we have ran this, and this code is having some particular issues. Now here they will have some discussion on this. So to fill this particular gap, we will be using a common tools for developers and operations team, so that developer cannot say that this code is working here, and operations team cannot say that this is not working here, because both will be using a common tool. If it is working here, it should also work there, because we will be using the same architecture, same versions and same application as well. To fill this particular gaps, we are using DevOps. DevOps is a community name. It's not or else it is like rules and regulations that we follow in the DevOps. It is not a tool. Now, as part of that, what are the tools that we have to learn? In Azure, it is called as services. The major difference between other clouds and Azure is nothing but, for administration, we have a separate dashboard that is called as portal.azure.com. For DevOps, we have a separate portal in Azure that is called as dev.azure.com. So we have two different dashboards. For DevOps, we have dev.azure.com. For administrative services, we have portal.azure.com. And in the part of DevOps, we will be learning about Azure repos, which is a kind of Git. And then we'll be learning about Azure pipelines for CI/CD implementation. And then we'll be learning about Azure artifacts to store the packages and other things. And then we'll be using Azure boards to create some particular process like Agile, Scrum models, to create some particular stories and create some particular process in the sprint. What is sprint? How the development will be happen? How the code will be released? Okay, how the client will be interacting with us? All the things I'll be covering in Azure boards. I think I've written this sentence multiple times. Please ignore that. And then we have Microsoft Defender for containers and Microsoft Defender for Kubernetes. These two comes under security. If you want to use containers and Kubernetes tools, we have something called Microsoft Defender, which will add a security to your tools. And not only that, we have to concentrate on non-cloud tools for DevOps engineer. What are those? Let me list down one by one. We need to learn about Git. Why? Because every organization will be storing the code in the Git. It could be any code like Python, Java, Terraform code, Ansible code, YAML files, and many more. All these particular codes will be stored in Git. Now, if I want to store everything in a Git repository, we need to know what is a Git. So Git is one of the version control system. Again, in version control system, again we have two types. That is centralized version control system and distributed version control system. We'll talk about that in detail in the course, but I just want to tell that we will be covering version control system called Git. And to monitor Kubernetes, we are using Prometheus and Grafana to monitor your applications on Kubernetes cluster. And to manage your systems across the cloud, we will be using Ansible, which is called as configuration management tool. We have many tools like that, Puppet, Ceph, SaltStack, and many more. In that, we will be using Ansible under configuration management. Under infrastructure management, we will be using Terraform. So Terraform is one of the widely used tool by many of the organizations nowadays. So you have to concentrate more on Docker and Kubernetes and Terraform to survive in IT industry right now. And then we have SonarQube, which is a static code analysis, which comes under security. For example, you will be writing a code. Now I want to find out a bugs or hotfix or duplication of the code or code smells. All these things I need to identify. Even though I'm a senior developer, I cannot read each and every line of code that you have written. I need someone else like SonarQube, a tool which will identify all these particular issues and it will generate a report. Now, as a developer, I'll be looking at the report and I will see what are the mistakes I've done in my code development. That is a tool which will help you to do some static code analysis. And then Python. Python comes under programming language. This is optional in this particular course. We will be giving only video access, but I will not be teaching this particular topic in this course. This is optional, but it is not mandated. After these particular topics are done, then let us talk about security tools, because this course is all about DevSecOps. We'll be learning DevOps tools as well as security tools as well to automate the process. As part of that, we'll be learning Trivy, which will do image scanning for vulnerability scan and all to identify the vulnerabilities of the image. And then we'll be using Docker security using CIS benchmark testing. And then we'll be using KubeBench for Kubernetes. And then we'll be using KubeLinter as well. So these are the security tools which we'll be learning. Apart from this, in AWS also I'll be covering some security tools to identify some loopholes on this particular cloud. Understand that security is something where we have to understand what are the things that we are managing and what are the mistakes we have done. To identify them, we have to use security tools. Okay, and after this was done, let us understand what is our DevOps roadmap. If I need to be a DevOps engineer or DevSecOps engineer, additionally, what is the plan or what is the career plan I have to take care? In that, we have to concentrate on server administration, servers, CI/CD, cloud, monitoring and logging, infrastructure as a code, network and security, and programming language. Under the part of server administration, I'll be covering Linux. You can say one topic. So you have to learn only one topic from each and every section. It doesn't mean that you have to learn each and every topic what I've displayed here. To survive in IT industry as a DevOps engineer or DevSecOps engineer, you have to pick any one of the two. Now, under server administration, I'll be covering Linux. Under servers, under web servers, I'll be covering Apache Web Server and Nginx Web Server, both of them, to run your websites. And then under caching, I will be teaching about mem caching. Though I have written Redis there, I'll be covering mem caching. Under the databases, to store the content of your website, we will be using relational database and non-relational database. Under relational database, I'll be covering MariaDB and MySQL, and then PostgreSQL as well. And not only that, I'll be covering non-SQL database like DynamoDB. I'll be covering only one topic from this and two topics from here. After this was done, then we'll be concentrating on CI/CD. Under CI/CD, we'll be learning about Jenkins. And not only that, additionally, I will be teaching GitHub Actions as well. So two topics, sorry, I told it is Jenkins, but it is not Jenkins. We will be using Azure pipelines. Please ignore that. We will be using Azure pipelines, which are not written here, but we will be additionally we'll be learning GitHub Actions as well. Because I'll be explaining some real-time project that is a live project of Visualpath that I will be teaching. At that time, I will be explaining about GitHub Actions as well. And then we'll be covering cloud. In the cloud, we'll be learning about Azure because this is all about Azure training program. And then we'll be learning about monitoring and logging. In that, I'll be covering Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring. And for logging, we will be using not ELK, it is EFK, Elasticsearch, Fluentd, and Kibana. After that, infrastructure as a code tool. Under that, I'll be covering configuration management like Ansible. Under containers, I'll be covering Docker. Under orchestration, I'll be covering Kubernetes. Under infrastructure provisioning, I'll be covering Terraform. So each topic is covered in from this particular session. And then we have to concentrate on networking and security, which is a part of DevSecOps. Okay, we have to take care of networking and security as well. Firewall, we have to take care of image scanning, deployment, what packages you are trying to install, what vulnerabilities we have in the image or the packages. All these things comes under network and security. And finally, programming language. In this particular training program, it is an optional, it is not mandatory. So I will not be teaching in this particular training program under Azure DevSecOps with Python programming language. But still, if you want to learn, we will be giving video access in the portal. So these are the things that we have to learn to be a DevSecOps engineer. So any questions here till now what I've discussed? Anything that you're looking for which are not displayed here? So that I'll go to the next topic.
Just one question.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
Since you've already covered from the basics, I think, or you will be covering from the basics.
Yes, obviously. Even
How
one
much
person.
time it would take for the complete course?
Yeah, daily it will be 1 hour and including Saturday as well. If we're running out of syllabus, I'll be taking Saturday. If we are okay, fine, the syllabus is on time and all, I'll be not taking on Saturday. It is optional for us. But 5 days a week and daily 1 hour, it will take 3 months to complete. Why? Because you can see the syllabus, right? I have to cover each and every topic in detail. It is not for namesake. So Visualpath, from my side, I'll be not teaching for namesake. It is in depth because if you go to any interview, right, you have to be in a position to answer the questions, what they are, scenario questions. Earlier, what happened before 2018 and all, right? They used to ask one-line questions. What is this? What is this? What is this? And all. Nowadays, what happened is they're asking you scenario-based questions. Scenario-based questions are in the sense, for example, I will tell you in this particular scenario, if you are in this situation, what you will do. These kind of questions they will ask. Now you have to recall everything, right? The workflow, the steps, what you follow, and everything. These are the questions what we will be preparing from my side.
All right, okay.
Yeah, the
I
only
think
thing
there's
what
a
is needed
little
is
glitch from your side. Your voice is breaking. I don't know if it is for others as well.
does anyone confirm this? Is it a glitch?
It's good for me.
Is there any break in the my voice or it's fine?
No, it's
Yeah, there
fine.
is a drop somewhere.
Maybe some network issue. Sorry for that. Yeah. Yeah, so I need a presence, and let's say you have to concentrate on the topics what I've given, and you have to practice them on daily basis. My suggestion is don't keep everything on a weekend. We have a habit of doing that. So what people will do is like when they are practicing of any tool. I'm not talking about only my course. If you're learning any course, right? People have habit of keeping it on weekend. What will happen is weekend we'll have other programs and we will not do that particular task and all. Again on the next weekend we'll have another topics as well, so you'll be lagging behind the course what you're learning. So my recommendation is concentrate, set your own time for 1 hour at least a daily, practice what I've taught, That's enough. And what are the tasks I given? Sit for 1 more hour. That is more than enough to learn the topics what I teach. It is not a rocket science that you cannot understand or you cannot do. Just concentrate and then you have to practice. Just do the task what I will give. I'll tell you one by one right now. Then
In
you'll
this,
understand.
hello.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Uh, in this, any live projects were there included
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this
I will just
course?
tell you. Yeah, once this is done, right, I will show you the live project of Visualpath.
Okay. And will this useful for experience 4 years
Yeah,
above?
this course is all about from 0 to 5 years. You can add any amount of experience, like fake or whatever you want. So my
Okay.
training program will provide you so that you can sustain in IT industry with 5+ years experience as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not only for freshers. With this
Okay.
particular training program, you're fresher, what you're learning from my side, and the 5 years experience person will have the same knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
No?
Let me continue. And if you have any questions, right, I will take at the end of the session in QA.
Just
Yeah.
one
Okay?
question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is DevOps engineer and a DevSecOps engineer same or different?
No, DevOps is the same. What you have heard about it, development plus operations tool. Now, security is a existing functionality. Earlier, what they used to do is like security we have in all the levels: server level, code level, application level, and many more. Network level as well. Now, what happened is since everything is automated in IT industry right now for the organizations, they want security testing also to be automated. Hope you understood it. Security also we have to add as a part of our DevOps CI/CD pipelines. That is the reason why we have to know how to integrate security tools to our DevOps pipelines. That is an additional thing. That's all. But it is not a deviation that you are doing right now. Okay. Additionally, you are learning security. That's all from DevOps.
So if I need to learn DevOps,
You don't need to
I
worry
can
about
continue
security
in this
tools.
course. You mean?
If you need to learn
No,
about
I'm not
DevOps,
worried about security.
okay.
What I mean is, I'm on the right path or I'm going to right course or not. I need to learn about DevOps engineering. I mean Azure DevOps engineering.
Yeah, you'll be learning that as well.
Because I
See,
can see.
it will be covering DevOps, CI/CD pipelines, automation, and all. Additionally, you will be learning security as well. So it is up to you whether you want to concentrate on that or not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, understood, right? So this entire course is about DevSecOps. If you don't want to learn about security, don't concentrate on that particular tools. Concentrate only on DevOps tools. Okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
I heard about that nowadays most of us using JavaScript, not about Python. Can you explain that?
JavaScript. See, it depends on company and
Uh,
company. See, we are also using Node.js. Okay, it all depends
okay.
upon the application development. Okay, if your
Okay.
company has a project, I'll tell you a scenario. I got a client right now. The client is saying that he wants
Okay.
an application to be developed on Python. Let's say I'll be using Python, right? I need a people who learned about Python programming language. So it all depends upon the
Okay.
organization and the clients what we have. I cannot say you that every company is using JavaScript. Okay, few companies
Okay.
might be using
Okay.
Python as well. But when you want to develop an application, right? Nowadays, what I've seen is everyone is using React and Node, like mean stack is there, right? So they are learning that.
o-
So in this live
Okay.
project, I'll be teaching that, not coding level. I will show you what is a deployment level. I'll talk about that after this
o-
session. Okay, at the end of the session right
o-
now. Okay, just give me five
Okay.
minutes so that I will cover that particular topic as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now, after learning this particular course, right, your designation will be like you can search for a job like Azure Solution Architect, okay, or Azure DevOps Engineer or Cloud DevSecOps Engineer. You can search with this particular roles. After learning this course, you will be in this particular position. Okay, and remember, it all depends upon the practice what you have done. From my side, I'll be giving my best to teach each and every topic from the basics to the high level. Okay, but what support I need from your side is nothing but you have to practice what I've taught. That's all. And what are the tasks I've given, you have to complete that. For example, we have so many architectures. Okay, this is the live project which we will be explaining, and k8sengineers.com, I'll talk about that. And this is my information, this is my GitHub repository and YouTube channel, and that is my email account. If you have any further queries and all, you can reach out me of any one of the medium. Okay, and if you want to know how I'm teaching, what I'm teaching, my way of styling and all, you can watch my YouTube channel videos, sample videos and all. You'll get some idea how I'm teaching, what are you able to understand or not. My recommendation is join the course, listen for 4 to 5 days and understand whether you are comfortable or not. And see, demo everybody will give you in the high level. It's a frank, right? So everybody will give a high level, what is saying that I will teach that, this and all. And sometimes in practical it may not be possible. Few people will not understand what I'm teaching. So that's the reason my recommendation is to fill this particular confusion part and the gaps. I recommend everyone to join the course, listen for 4 to 5 days. No one will ask you any fee and nothing from Visualpath. Okay, so Visualpath will give you the opportunity to listen first, listen and concentrate. If you are not able to understand, then you can take your own decisions. Okay, that's how I recommend. Not only this particular course, any course it is. Okay, and this is my personal information. If you want to reach out me of any suggestions or any career level path or any inputs and all, you can talk to me or anytime by using this email address. Okay, now let me tell you what is a live project that we'll be discussing. Okay, if you go back to the browser and you can search as well, we have something called k8sengineers.com, or we have Visualpath is having DevOpsOnlineHub.com. These two applications are running on Node.js. We are using React.js for UI, Node.js for backend, and PostgreSQL for database. All these three particular applications we will be using to deploy this application. And right now this application is running on AWS Cloud, and I will show you how to deploy this application on Azure Cloud by using complete automation. So you can add this particular live project into your resume, so that you can explain this as your project, or your what do you say, if you are fresher, you can add this as a mini project or something like that. Okay, like freelancing, whatever it is, you can add this particular project. Resume preparation and everything will be done by Visualpath itself. You have to tell whether you are adding an experience or fresher. So based on that we have to change our resume. So everybody can add this particular live project into your resumes, so that will help you a lot. You will be having upper hand, because I will tell you all the deployment process, how we have automated this, how we are deploying it. Tomorrow if you want to apply the changes, how will you automate that, how the changes will be deployed on the production server. Right now this is a live server, live application. Many people have registered to this to understand this particular topic. So this application I'll be showing you how to deploy it with complete CI/CD automation. Okay, so this application I'll be using any one of them. Okay, based on that particular requirement. Yeah, now any questions I can take it up and I can answer. So the course will be for 3 months for sure. I need at least 3 months to complete this course. Why? Because you have seen the topics, whatever I'm covering right now. You can talk to any IT industry of your relative and show this particular syllabus. He will understand what I'm teaching right now. Okay. If you have any confusion part.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Hi.
Yeah, will you cover bicep scripts?
No.
I think it's come under the DevOps.
But see, I told you right. So every tool will not be covered here. That is your specific or your organization specific.
Mm.
So is this the only demo, or you have another demo as well? So
Sorry.
is this the only demo, or you have another demo as well?
This is the only demo what we have, and later we'll be starting the course as well. We have to start from scratch. Labs you can create on your own. I'll be teaching you how to practice on your own, how to set up and how to practice all the topics what I've discussed. And you no need to worry about that. Come with a empty mind. And then you will be learning everything what you want for your career to be in DevSecOps engineer under Azure cloud.
Hmm. No, I was expecting a little bit of introduction or on any of the concepts, and but you covered
You
the.
can do one thing. Yeah, that's what I told, right? You can join the course for 4 days or 5 days, listen to the introduction, how I'm teaching and all. Then you'll understand much more about it.
And that also works.
Yeah, yeah, fine. Because a demo, everyone says the same thing, right? But when you jump into the actual course, then you will understand how it goes on.
Okay.
And documentations wise, you guys no need to prepare any documentations. I have prepared all the documentations and they have been stored in the GitHub. So this is my GitHub repository. I used to prepare all the documents related to Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and many more. Okay, you can see many people have forked it, and we can see this particular code which I've written 2 years back. Okay, and I've been updating this. You can see 2 weeks ago. So this is like continuous documentation which I'll be preparing, and I have another documentation for Terraform and other topics as well. So documentation wise, you guys don't need to prepare. If you feel that I want to write in my own language, then you can write. It's up to you. But concentrate on the topics what I'm teaching. Practice that. If you have any questions, you can ping me on WhatsApp group. So Visualpath will be creating a WhatsApp group, and the video recording will be done on daily basis. If you have missed any class, you can watch the recording what I've done today, and then you can sync with the next class what I'm teaching. That recording will be provided for 1 year validity. The classroom video what I've teach, right? So that video will be audio will be provided, recorded audio will be provided to you for practice purpose. And when the course will start and all, Malti will be talking to you or Visualpath team. And regarding the technical questions, you can talk to me. Anything fees, course starting date and all, you can talk to them. I'm not the right person to answer it.
Hi,
Any
Sudhir.
questions? Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Am I audible? Sorry.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Will this course help us in clearing AZ 400?
Is it 400? Yes, absolutely. But it is a theoretical questions. You have to understand the scenarios. I'll give you some sample questions what I have, so you can understand how the questions will be asked. So my recommendation is you guys can prepare for CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. That will help you a lot. If you're looking for
Okay.
specific
Because
Azure certification and all, you can do it. No issues with that. So this will help you to
no,
clear the
no.
exam on 400 as well.
Okay. Because as I have noticed on your slide, I have found that AZ 400. So I just wanted to know
Yes.
on that.
Yeah, you can clear that for sure.
Okay.
And the people who are looking for certification, right? And if you don't know anything about it, concentrate on CKA exam, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. I will provide you the guidance. Okay, if you are interested, please let me know. Then I will let you know what are the things that you have to learn, what are the teach, that is more than enough. Additionally, I will give you some particular task. Do that, so that will help you a lot to clear the exam. It is same, like it is not a theoretical questions, it is a practical session like your Red Hat exam. You have to complete that particular exam in 2 hours. They'll give you 17 questions. If you clear at least 12 to 13 questions, right, you will be passing it, because the margin was 65% out of 100. If you cross 65 or 60 more than that, then you'll pass the exam. Yeah. Because it is more of practical, not theoretical. This Azure, AWS, and all, right, these are theoretical exams for certification. I hope everyone has a clarity on this. Any other questions from your
Related
side?
to those, related to those DevOps tools which you are covering related to those
Yeah.
Ansible and Terraform, will
Hmm.
will the sessions explained by you will help us in attending the certification for those specific tools?
Terraform, yeah, Terraform, yes. You can go for the certification as well, and that too it is a theoretical examination at a certification.
Yeah.
It's not practical. Terraform. and you can clear that exam as well.
Fine. Yeah.
On a request basis, like, will you be able to cover bicep or at least access to some videos?
I will try my best. I'll ask Malati and all. Do we have any recorded videos of this particular topic? You can talk to her. Okay, she will be providing you any guidance on that. But from my side, right, I'll search for that and I will give it to you. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Mention that so that I will have an idea because many people will be contacting, right? So please mention that particular tool name to her.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions, guys? So this course is all about the person who even doesn't know about IT, information technology. You are coming from MBA, MCA, graduate or any other degree and all. We are not worried about it. Even one person doesn't know about what is Linux. I'll be starting from there. So sometimes you might feel bored because you know the topic, but still you'll be finding something interesting in it. Okay. So as I told you, you can have 0 years experience and 5 year plus years experience will be getting the same knowledge from this particular course. That is for sure. That's the reason why it will take 3 months for me to complete. It's not for namesake. That's how I can guarantee. So my suggestion is join the course, listen for 4 to 5 days and understand what is your comfort level, what I'm teaching, the examples, what I'm giving, you are able to understand or not, my way of flow and all. You are able to catch the points, what I'm saying and all. Just understand that, then take your decision. Okay. Any questions, guys? No? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining the demo.
Thank you all.
See you.